seen anything like that.
Wide right.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Oh, the band is out on the field. He's going to go in the end zone. He's going to go in the end zone. The Bears have won. The Bears have won. Oh, my God. You believe in miracles? Yes.
It's the Davey Mac Sports Program, where we talk to sports and other stuff, like wintertime. Speaking of which, why did Dave pour hot water on his computer? Anyone?
I don't
Because it froze. I mean, Dave, if you were a lollipop, you'd be a dum-dum. Anyway, I'm Roy Harder, and here's your host, Mr. Eastside David McDonald, everybody. Yeah, let's give it up for him. Ooh, that's not a piano. That's a piano.
You know, I'm not going to be distracted from the fact that you insulted me simply because it's, hey, now let's give him applause, and I'm going to play my keyboard. I'm the musical director who apparently is taking shots at the Dave Man to begin the show.
Well, David, I think if I was actually taking a shot, I would have used a much more, I would say, insulting candy. A dum-dum. Is, not too bad. Now, if I called you a Jolly Rancher.
He typically doesn't mince words when he's taking shots.
I know.
That's
Fair
right.
enough. He is known as the Long Island Psycho, Roy Harder, the musical director of the Davey Mac Sports Program. That is Roy. Robert Tamburo, Bobby Tamburo is producing. I'm Eastside Dave McDonald for another exciting episode of the Davey Mac Sports Program, where we are dealing with a blizzard. And I mean, we get the Soldiers of the Week award. I got all kinds of things canceled. I had a doctor's appointment today canceled.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's bad news for me. That means the disease is probably going to kill me in the next 72 hours. It was a big time doctor's appointment that I couldn't miss. All kinds of things are going on. We are, of course, going to talk about the NFC and AFC championships. We got to talk about the football. Some craziness occurred. We're going to talk about a couple of ESPN personalities who have gotten some things wrong. And we are going to discuss basketball for a little bit and a little tiny baseball. But before we do, I thought, you know what? It's a blizzard. And when it's a blizzard, guys, you know that we haven't played this classic clip in years. Because honestly, New Jersey has not been hit. I don't know about you, Roy, on Long Island, but New Jersey has not been hit with this kind of snowstorm in 4 or 5 years.
Oh, yeah. Same here. Everything is shut down. I'm just dreading because I got to go out and shovel after the show. So
I did. I already had to shovel a little path for the dog so that she could go out to the bathroom. And I'm telling you, I started clutching my heart. Like, they always say most people die when they're show snubbling of heart attacks. That's right. That's what happens they say 98% of people. This is actually at least what I told my mother when she said, could you go over and shovel a little path for the dog? I said, yes, but are you aware that people who shovel snow, 98% of them die of a heart attack?
That's true, David. 100% true.
I said, yeah, it's a big number, but nevertheless, I got it done. I survived. I'm one of the lucky 2%, I suppose. Not in terms of, finances. I wish I was in that elite 2% bracket. No, I'm talking in terms of surviving snow shoveling. One guy who doesn't shovel, but certainly uses a snowblower, and I believe he spells it SNOW space BLOWAH, is a man who is Roy Harder's neighbor.
That's
who's
right.
run into Roy a couple times. This is true, right? He lives in the same neighborhood as you.
Oh, yeah, 100%. He's not far from me, actually. And I've taken taxis with, I believe, some of his family members. We share cabs in my neighborhood. So,
and we're talking about Mike Francesa, the king of New York, the legendary WFAN sports personality for many, many years, still going strong with his podcast. And I always relish this clip of Mike talking about the snowblower And before we get into all the football and the AFC and NFC championships, I thought let's play this Mike Francesa
I know how to use
snowball.
it now. I'm telling you, I became one of the gifted guys at using a snowball. I'm telling you, I make designs now with the snow. I am there. I am there now. I was afraid of it. I was actually afraid to be in the garage with it for a while. I was actually afraid to go in the garage. I thought it might attack me. But, it's scary. It's a big machine. I got one of those big ones. But I'm telling you, now, forget it. I have got that thing figured out. I have got it purring like a kitten. I'm telling you. I got that guy under control. I'm waiting to use him this year. Bring on that snow. I'm ready. I get the whole driveway done now, And I got a hard driveway to do because it's like it's a hard kind of surface, so it's tricky. But I'm telling you, I got it down pat now. I have become a master with the snowball. I do like the whole block. I go across the street and I'll do the guy across. I'm not telling you. I'm there. That's it. I do like the whole block with the snowball. I love it. Especially get that big snow. Forget it.
He does not
Out
do
there
that.
all day. Yes, can come and do a feature on it. I'm telling you. I'll do a snowblower commercial for the company. I got to remember what company does the snowblower. I'll find out what the brand of my snowblower is. We'll do it. We'll go out there. We'll do a feature, the whole thing. We'll do a commercial, do a whole snowblower thing. We'll do like what we used to call that show with Kurt Gowdy, American Sportsman. We'll do like an American Sportsman out there in the snow. That's it. We'll do like an American Sportsman. You bring the crew out. We'll do American Sportsman out there on the first snowfall.
Oh, man.
Shades of Robert Frost. I'll even recite the first snowfall for you. I did that poem when I was a kid in school. The First Snowfall by Robert Frost. George and Wanto, what's up, George?
Wait,
Okay. I have to break down this legendary clip. First
this is
of all,
amazing. Yeah.
it's non sequitur after non sequitur. I believe the legendary deceased sportscaster Kurt Gowdy got a shout out. I believe he somehow brought up a poem he recited in second grade. He then also bragged about being the master. I thought we had coined that phrase. I thought, we were the ones, I'm the snowblower master.
Master, you're the one that we melt after. I don't know.
Thank you, Roy. Thank you. Because I'm not playing around with the snowblower. Okay? And it's like, you ever see Robert Frost, the poem? And there's two trails. And one person takes the one less travel, Robert Frost. Okay? Now here one of the things that I like to do is do the designs, okay, with the snowblower, okay, and sometimes to do like a practical joke. I got 3 houses down from me. I got 2 neighbors. Their names, they're 2 men. They're in their 40s. Their names are Timmy and Tommy. No kids, okay. Hey, to each his own. I'm Mike Francesa. Live and let live is my philosophy, okay? But just to give them, a little razzmatazz, I go out, on their driveway with the snowblower, and I just design a giant penis. Okay? And the good thing about the snowblower is that I do the big penis, with the balls and the shaft, okay? But then coming out, I draw little tiny circles. And because it's snow, it looks like it's shooting ejaculation from the penis, okay? It looks like the penis is ejaculating, okay? And I go, Timmy and Tommy, what do you think about that? Okay? Just a little joke, okay? Then there's another guy on the other side, okay? All right? Jimmy Abrams, big Mets fan. Well, if you've been following me for years, okay, you know that Mickey Mantle was my favorite Yankee, okay, and that I've stayed loyal to the Yankees due to the Mick for years and years and decades at this point. Don't really appreciate Jim Abrams, with the Mets pennant and everything like that. So I go to his driveway and I just write a big F you. And he came out and he goes, Mike, what's this all about? Okay. And I'm like, it's just razzmatazz. It's not, don't take it any other way. Especially in today's climate, I don't want people taking it in some sort of political. This is just a Mets Yankees thing. And then I go over 3 houses down across the street, and then to the right, I have my former WFAN program director, Mark Chernoff. Okay. He's the guy who, for some reason, said, Mike, you're getting a little old and a little senile, and you repeat things all the time. I'm like, what are you talking about? I never repeat things. I go, what are you talking about? I never repeat things. I said to him, what are you talking about? I don't repeat things. I said, how dare you say that, Mark? I'm not senile. I never repeat things. So he went back indoors. And I wrote, Dear Mark, this is with the snowblower. This is one of my designs. I wrote, Dear Mark Chernoff, I'm going to kill you and all your kids. I should still be on the fan. You brought back Craig Hutton, the WFAN, okay? The guy's been in jail more times than Bernie Madoff. And you're going to bring him back. Meanwhile, the snowblower master, Mike Francesa, sitting on the sidelines here. I got to do a podcast for BetMGM when I could be number 1 in drive time in New York on the fan. Okay? Does this sound fair to you, Chernoff? Some thank you for giving you 25 years of ratings, Chernoff. Some rating. Anyway, I gotta get back to snowblowing, everybody. I'm Mike Francesa. Bye. But
Hey, Dave, you know what my favorite part of his little rant was? He said he's got one of those hard driveways. And I thought to myself, as opposed to one of the elastic ones, I don't understand. what does that mean?
No, Roy, my driveway is actually made of quicksand. So, yeah.
Okay.
Mike is lucky. He's got one of those hard ones. Sometimes I park my car in my driveway and the car disappears. I go, oh man, it's one of those, the soft quicksand driveway got me again.
I like to think Mike likes to snowplow gravel driveways and just doesn't care. He just shoots the stones out.
That's A. B, there's no way Mike goes around and does it for the whole block. I am absolutely calling BS on that.
100%. Mike actually lives. I shouldn't really give away his address.
You don't have to give the exact address. But where?
He lives on the water, and he doesn't have. His neighbors are a bit far away, so something tells me his neighbors are not waiting for him to shovel their driveway. I'm sure they got a crew of guys shoveling their neighbor's driveway. I'm not saying he doesn't try to help, but it's highly unlikely that he's taking his snowblower down the road to his neighbor's house.
I agree. I agree with you. Robert, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, I've been in Roy's neck of the woods, and I don't envision anyone there owning a shovel, let alone shoveling their own driveway.
Yeah,
I'm the only asshole. Yeah, I'm the only asshole around here shoveling snow.
Yeah, this is Roy is by Mike Francesa in the good part of Long Island, not in the, dare I say, Sean Barry meth part of Long Island. Now, that's not all. And then we will get to the AFC and NFC Championships. But apparently, Mike recently, or a year or two ago, yet again, got the snowblower and let us know about all his techniques with the snowblower. He went off again. He really is proud of this, though. Is it you? I mean, is it me, or was this maybe the first non-radio job? Like I believe Mike Francesa never had a manual labor job, or maybe even any kind of job. And it's like, like when I was a kid, I worked as a waiter. I worked at the butcher block. I delivered flowers. I had all these kinds of jobs. I'm pretty sure this is Mike revealing he's never actually done any work except for talking to a microphone. I'm not critical of him. I'm just saying I've never heard someone be so proud of snow blowing.
Yeah.
Bro, the machine does all the work. I'm telling you, when I went out there, it's about 12 inches to 14 inches of snow, and in some where there's drift here in New Jersey, we got like some drifts have it like 16 inches. I was out there old school shoveling. Okay, that's work. Yeah. Snowblower, come on. You Mike looked like a fat Egon from the Ghostbusters out there.
I have to come to Mike's defense a little bit. If halfway through your shoveling, Dave, somebody showed up with a snowblower and was like, look at this, you just have to stand here and it does the job, I feel like you'd be just as excited about the snowblower as Mike was.
I agree. No, I'm not saying I'm anti-snowblower.
You just wouldn't say it made you a man.
I'm not saying I'm anti-snowblower, but I am saying a snowblower is significantly easier than shoveling. I'm going to say a good 99% easier to snowblow than it is to shovel. And the Dave man's out there shovel. I already shoveled. I have to shovel more. I got to shovel my car, all this kind of stuff. But here's the second clip of Mike Francesa and the snowblower.
I'll take the ticket. I don't want the money, but I'm bringing my snowblower.
Well,
because I can do rows really fast because I'm.
Oh, hold on, pause
I
it,
use
Robert.
my snowball all the time. I love.
He's talking about the fact that the Buffalo Bills got so much snow, they offered $10 an hour and a free game ticket to any Bills fans who come in, to the stadium and help shovel the snow. I mean, there's 80,000 seats you gotta, get clear for the game. So that's what he was talking about. This is what he's talking about here. So here's him talking about going into Buffalo and using his snowblower.
My snowblower.
I'm not big into manual labor. So.
I love the snowblower. I love to do my driveway with the snowblower. It's one of my favorite things, to get a lot of snow and do the snowblower. I have a great snowblower.
I would like to see
I don't know what
you
the
do
make
that.
is. I don't know what the make is, but it's a great machine. It really is. It's powerful. It shoot that stuff a mile. I don't know the make. I tried to remember last time what the make is, and I got it wrong. But it's a great snowball. It's a great machine.
Get the cameras out there in a snowstorm to watch you do that.
They said they were going to do it. The last time that we were still doing it last year, we were going to do that because I'm telling you, I'm out there as soon as we get enough snow. I'm out there and I do the whole driveway. I even go into the street, the whole thing. I love it. It's one of my favorite
the neighbors?
things.
You help out the neighborhood?
No, sometimes. I do the guy across the street. I used to have a man across the street, was like 85. He just passed away. I used to do his driveway for him and do his yard for him. But he's gone now, so they have someone else there now. But no one's living there right now, but they just sold the house. But I used to do his yard for him, yeah. But it's one of my favorite things. I spend the morning doing it.
Ugh.
I tell you, it's
horrible.
people don't realize snowblowing is an incredible workout. You get because that machine, it's heavy to push.
Yeah, it's very
and
heavy.
you got to keep switching the thing to blow the snow. Because if you blow it back in the driveway, what's the point? You got to keep shifting. So you got to push and shift it this way.
I do it wrong on purpose
Guys who
so that I
are
don't have to
real
continue.
snowblowing guys know you got to shift it and go really shoot it straight, then shoot it here, then shoot it there. And it's the technique. There's an art to doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I used to do my neighbor across the street. He's dead. Dead as disco. Very sad, in fact. I know we were talking about snowblowers, but, Mike non sequitur Francesa here. And let me just briefly tell you, 85, you'd think, old age, he lived a nice life. No, he was murdered, hit in the head with a wrench. We're still looking for the killer, in fact. I told the local police here in Long Island, I said, maybe I can find them with my snowblower. Maybe I could, somehow be like a Charles Bronson vigilante type with a snowblower. Like, if you give me a couple clues of who the suspect is who murdered this nice old man across the street, maybe I could just I'll blow him into the police station into custody. It's just a thought. People have no idea how good I am with the snowblower. Okay? I feel like I could solve a lot of problems here in the United States of America. I'm not going to talk about deportation or anything. I'm just saying, if you need me, I can blow people away over a certain line or whatnot. That's all I'm saying. I'm not here to. But you'd be amazed. The other day, the car broke down in front of me when I was on the Long Island Expressway. I just decided I'm going to take out the snowblower, and I got him going. All of a sudden, he's going 85 miles an hour. I just started to drive behind him with the snowblower out the window, and we were able to just swiftly move through the Long Island Expressway at about 80, 85 mph. Just me, right hand on the wheel over here. The snowblower popped up out the window, and I was able to blow him to his destination. Which actually it turned out was his parole officer because he had murdered a couple people. So now I'm starting to think, well, is that guy the same? Are they linked with my across the street neighbor?
Oh boy.
Anyway, I have a lot of things to figure out, and I have a lot of murder mysteries to solve. If you think about it, maybe I could be the new Angela Lansbury. Murder, Mike wrote. And it's me, writing a little, on today's episode, Mike looks for the guy who killed his neighbor from across the street. He has a few suspects in mind, like the landscaper. I'm not, not to go in any particular direction, but, Victor Suarez. It wasn't Victor. You never know. I'm Mike Francesa. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you, Robert.
Did I disappear?
Where'd Roy go?
Did I disappear?
Oh, Roy. Uh-oh.
Can you guys hear me?
As soon as I mentioned Mike Francesa solving crimes, apparently Roy dropped out. Well, we jinxed. I'm telling you, we at least get some sort of medal for being buried under feet of snow and attempting to do this episode. And we are going to do it, by God.
We are.
And he's
just
back.
Like that. Look who's back.
I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
That's fine. You hear everyone?
Yes, loud and clear. Sorry.
No worries. We're really like I said to Robert, we're doing something special today because I'm almost shocked that any of our internets work here. I'm in Jersey, Robert's in New York City, and Roy's in Long Island. So we're going all the way up to through the Northeast there. All right. AFC, NFC Championships. The Patriots beat the Broncos 10-7 in the AFC Championship. Guys, what was I talking about just last week and the week before? In the playoffs, you must take the points. And specifically, any coach going for 2 points in the first half or going for it on fourth down in the first half needs their head examined. I don't care what the analytics say. You know what the analytics have done to the New York Yankees? Destroyed them. That's been one of the single biggest culprits in the Yankees' demise and going 16 years with no World Series is because of analytics. And then we hear Sean Payton in the press conference saying the analytics said we have a great chance to get this. Analytics how? First of all, you had a backup quarterback in Jarrett Stidham. So were these analytics specifically computed for this backup quarterback? Or were they just overall analytics, football analytics? This is what I need to know. Were they Bo Nix's analytics? Or were they Jarrett Stidham's analytics? And if they were, how? How could you even have analytics for Jarrett Stidham? This is the first football game he's played in 2 years.
Yeah. I think when they say analytics,
So
I think analytics to them are like ChatGTP or something. I don't
right,
really,
and we
follow
know
it.
how inaccurate all of that AI stuff is.
Yeah.
Let me explain something to you. When it's the first half, especially in the playoffs, you do not need to go for these things. You do need to take the points. I said it last week. I said it the week before. I can't believe this keeps happening. The game, I'm not saying the Broncos win, but it would have been tied 10-10 in the last few minutes of the fourth quarter, and then who knows what happens from there. Maybe the Patriots start feeling the pressure like, oh my God, we're going to lose to a backup quarterback in this Jarrett Stidham, and we are going to blow this golden opportunity, and they start feeling pressure, they start feeling anxiety, they start getting tense, and they start making mistakes. But instead, I knew no one was going to score in that fourth quarter. I reached over to my little viewing partner, Stanley Mack, and I said, this game's staying 10-7. Once that snow started hitting in the third quarter, I go, this game's staying 10-7. Payton should have taken the points. I can't believe coaches are leaving all of these points on the board.
Even if you want to do analytics, how about you analyze the weather and realize a blizzard's coming in the second half, so you better take any points you can get in the first because you're not going to be scoring.
And it's a blizzard in Denver, for Christ's sakes, in Colorado. The second you saw the first couple of snowflakes fall to the ground, and within 15 minutes, straight up blizzard, straight up snowstorm where no one could see anything because it's Colorado. It's the mile-high city. They get tons of snow. This is why people go there to ski. What are we doing? And Sean Payton gave away that AFC Championship, whether people want to admit it or not. And I'm a Sean Payton fan because, he was a Giant for a little bit. He was an offensive coordinator for the Giants under Jim Fossil before he went to Parcells. And so he learns under Parcells, who obviously, even though it was the Dallas Cowboys, Parcells, the legendary Giants Hall of Fame head coach. So there is a little tiny, Sean Payton Giants connection. I was like, you know what? Let's go. Let's go, Denver Broncos. Let's have some crazy story where the backup quarterback wins, and was just so disappointed in Sean Payton going for that. And we're not going to play the clip because Sean Payton was asked, well, why did you go for it? And outside of saying analytics once, he just talked in circles and never said, yeah, it was, you know what? Dumb decision. But it was all, well, the printout and the numbers and the analytics and the database and the spreadsheet. And I'm like, any coach or manager in baseball or general manager in any sport who talks like this, get him out. I believe we need to enter a new phase, and that is, yes, you're going to have the analytics because we do have computers and technology, and we have the ability to go and look at all of these different numbers. Oh, this guy can run, 21 miles per hour and stuff like that. But the analytics are a jumping off point for then using your eyeballs, determining the best talent to acquire, determining what strategies to do in the game. Analytics are not the end-all, be-all. They're simply not. And if these coaches don't realize that they become a slave to analytics, they're going to get fired. I mean, Sean Payton's going nowhere now, but he should be looking at it saying, holy cow, I legitimately could have made the Super Bowl. At the very least, the game would be 10-10. Yeah. I could have had the ball, and who the hell knows what would have happened after that.
Even if he comes in and takes responsibility and goes, yeah, it was the bad call, but I thought we had the right play, we had the right thing designed, and I thought our guys could do it better than they could. Like, I'll take that over the computer told me to go for it, or the computer
100%.
I thought we did sports to get away from the nerds. And I know that's a joke.
I hear you.
But all kidding aside, the beauty of sports is when people do things that statistically shouldn't be done. The 1980s Miracle Hockey Team. In Herb Brooks' speech, he said if we played them 9 times or 10 times, they'd beat us 9. But it's that one night. Like, that's the beauty of sports. There has to be the human element.
what they don't understand time and time and time again is the analytics can only provide you information of the past. Thus, you're always looking backward and you're not factoring in sports is unpredictable and the future is uncertain. And no, you shouldn't always be looking backward. You should be looking at the players, the talent, and the game in front of you and making the decision for that specific game. Everything needs to be a case-by-case basis, and it's not based on what happened in the past. It's what's happening in the present. And, okay, this guy is having a hell of a game. I believe in the next couple plays, he can break one for 70-yard touchdown, etc. It's as simple as that. So you're always looking backwards with analytics. They provide information. It's information that, sure, can absolutely be useful. I don't think anyone's questioning that. But the information cannot be these platitudes, cannot be these, it's you live and die by these numbers, by these analytics. To do that is insane and stupid. Joe Shane, the Giants general manager, is a slave to analytics. Well, here's what the analytics didn't tell Joe Shane. Saquon Barkley, besides being a phenomenal football player, is a charismatic guy. He's a team leader. He's got energy and juice. Guys like to follow him. Guys like playing for him. He's a selfless, not selfish, but selfless player. So you can't take someone of that magnitude, all of these intangibles, and give them to your division rival. And what happened is the Giants immediately got the Eagles, their second Super Bowl in franchise, their biggest rival. They gave them their second Super Bowl, and that's forever because that was a Saquon Barkley, the same team. So, again, it's because the analytics told Joe Shane, well, the guy's going to start to decline in the next 5 years. Okay, but what about this year, brother? What about this year?
Where he's
what about
jumping backwards over guys.
Yeah. It's like, well, who cares what happens 5 years from now? With all due respect, it's sports. Cut them, move on, and get somebody younger. But when the guy's still good, you're looking at some spreadsheet going, oh, yeah, the analytics say this about the player. Well, all you did was give your biggest rival their best player, and that's why they got that championship. And it's happening all over the place. It happened to Sean Payton, who I thought was better than that. I thought Sean Payton was the guy who just simply watched the game unfold in front of him and make decisions. Coaches, if you can get a field goal in the first half, take the points. You should not be going for it all this much on fourth down in the first half. There's no reason for it. To do so at this point is pure ego. It is narcissism. It is literally Ben Johnson, Dan Campbell, Sean Payton, etc. It's them putting their own egos over what's best for the team. And that's a cardinal sin when all of these head coaches ask their players constantly, hey, do what's best for the team. It's team, 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 team. And I'm convinced that a good majority of these coaches are because they think, stupidly, may I add, that they're going to look like cowards if they go for a field goal on 4th and 1. No, what you're going to look like is smart. Tom Coughlin kicked 4 field goals in the Giants' second Super Bowl against the Patriots. They won. They won. He didn't need to go for it on 4th and 3, 4th and 2, 4th and 1, 4th and 4. Kick the field goal, take the points. Then in the fourth quarter, you know what you're dealing with. Oh, okay. We're down by 4 points. All right, Eli, now we need a touchdown. Okay, that's doable, right? Just one touchdown? Sure. Eli goes down, gets the one touchdown. Bada bing, bada boom. Giants win the Super Bowl. It's not that hard. 2-point conversions and going for it on 4th down in the first half, crazy to me. And coaches who do this absolutely need to be questioned and questioned hard because they're making mistake after mistake. It's costing their teams wins.
And that's something that the sabermetrics
listen to these stats, by the way, for the quarterbacks. Stidham with the Broncos, 17 for 31, 133 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Drake May for the Patriots, 10 for 21 for 86 yards. No TDs, no picks. He also did run for 65 yards on 10 rushes, including a touchdown. So he was probably better, arguably better running the ball than he was throwing the ball. I'm not super convinced on Drake May. And let me tell you one other thing. I mean, Robert, you played football.
I did.
But when it snows like this, the wide receiver who might, go on a route, let's say he goes up, fakes it here, and boom, goes out long, right? The wide receiver and the quarterback know the route.
Absolutely.
The defensive back who is guarding the wide receiver don't know the route. So in other words, if the wide receiver knows, okay, this is where I'm going, just got to run fast, do my thing, but make sure I don't slip, really plant hard and plant intentionally, and just absolutely make sure I don't slip. You tell the quarterback you're not leading him as far. He's not going to be able to run as fast. He's not going to be able to. But if you would, usually throw it 5 yards down the field, maybe bring it in a little bit. But guess what happens so many times, folks, in snow? The defensive back who doesn't know the route, doesn't know what's going on, that's the guy who slips. I don't know why neither Sean Payton nor Mike Vrabel, or let's just say the Broncos and the Patriots, weren't taking more shots downfield. And no, it's not just tell the wide receivers, just run in a straight line. More than ever is when you actually cut, when you fake something and go the other direction. And you just tell the wide receiver, don't slip. Because guess what? Good chance the D-back is slipping. No one was doing that.
Absolutely not. Nobody was passing. And let's be honest, it is tougher to pass in the cold. In the snow, it's tougher to throw the football and to catch it. But, if you think about it, at the end of the game, of the other game we're going to talk about, they threw a bootleg that would have basically won them the game because nobody was expecting a pass. The passes are going to be open. The Patriots have made a career out of playing in the snow. Literally, their equipment manager spends more time analyzing what cleats they wear for a particular game than some coaches do their entire scheme. So the Patriots are made for this. They're built for that. They play in the snow all the time. I think one of the commentators said it last week and the week before. You see May throwing a lot of interceptions, right? 5 in the first 2 games. So all week at practice, what are you telling Drake?
Sorry, five turnovers. They weren't all picks. Some of them were fumbles.
But you're telling him the whole time, we need to take care of the football. That's your main priority this week. And I think he wasn't taking chances because his whole thing was, I'm just not going to turn it over. I'm not going to lose my team the game.
I understand. But, man, if the Patriots just wanted to end the game, call just a couple routes where Stephon Diggs can actually, fake a slant in 10 yards in and boom, go out. I'm telling you, they would have had opportunities for some long balls. I couldn't believe that they didn't do that.
For no other reason, you have a young quarterback who's about to go play in the Super Bowl. Give him a little confidence going in. Hey, we trust you. Sling the rock here, kid.
By the way, Kurt Warner, of course, former St. Louis Rams quarterback, Arizona Cardinals quarterback, Super Bowl champion, Hall of Famer, MVP. He said he didn't like he's down on these snow games in the playoffs because it's not showing off the athleticism in the best way possible. So my thing is, well, okay, Kurt, so what? Are you going to foot the bill and build a dome in Denver?
Yeah, right.
It's going to cost a pretty penny to just all of a sudden put domes on all of these buildings. Everyone's like, retractable dome. That's A. B, come on. That's such weak sauce.
That's why my idea of building a football that had an internal heater was such a brilliant idea. I think a battery-powered football that warmed itself could change everything, David.
I mean, I would be worried that the ball either would get too hot or perhaps if it's getting bounced around a lot, that the ball might actually explode. Because if you have like a little heater, you have all this electricity, and then maybe a fire starts, It would be quite, it would be a big scandal, Roy, if the quarterback's going back to throw and all of a sudden the ball explodes in his hand and then his hand comes off. And he's
still cheaper than a dome, David. Just saying.
JPP runs over. He's like, it's not that bad. I've been through this before. You'll still play in the Super Bowl.
I can help you out. I mean, they should. I mean, I have seen people get real life Iron Man hands, robotic hands. That would be interesting if that happened to a quarterback. But come on, Kurt Warner, and come on to anyone else.
It's the Arena League guy who's saying that. Of course he thinks everything should be inside. He made his bones playing Arena League football.
And he's a dome guy through and through. But beyond that, both teams have to play in the snow, dummy. Stop it. It's even. And you should absolutely know how to handle weather in the NFL. To me, it points to yet another sign that every celebrity and every athlete in modern day times gets beyond coddled to the point where they've been now coddled through the roof for so many years. All they do is complain and bitch and moan. And the rest of us are like, you're making millions and millions of dollars. Try working paycheck to paycheck. You mouthy prima donna, shut up, collect your money, and get out there in the snow. Stop this. Stop all this nonsense.
Take it a step further. Look at the number of significant injuries that occur in snow games versus non-snow games. You don't see nearly as many concussions in the snow. You don't see nearly as many ligament tears because guys aren't able to go as fast. They have to be more under control. It's actually a safer sport when you're playing in snow than it is in normal weather.
And there's a little padding on the ground for the guys when they get tackled. There's nothing wrong with the snow game, including if it happens in the AFC or NFC Championship. For crying out loud, this is so silly. Even the famous, Green Bay Packers, Dallas Cowboys Ice Bowl from years ago. If you were a kid and you watched those NFL films, that the Sables did, all you heard about was the Ice Bowl and how legendary of a game it was. They want to take that away, and they want to make it like everything else, a nice corporate domed game. It's sickening. Come on, man. Furthermore, so that's the AFC Championship. The NFC Championship, great game. The Seattle Seahawks beat the LA Rams 31-27. The Seahawks advanced to the Super Bowl. This was the exact opposite. Listen to these numbers. Sam Darnold of the Seahawks, 25 for 36, 346 yards, 3 TDs and no picks. Meanwhile, the Rams' Matthew Stafford was 22 for 35, 374 yards, 3 TDs, no picks. Darnold, on his way to the Super Bowl, of course, was initially a Jet, drafted by the Jets, played for the Jets. They gave up on him. The word on the street is that then head coach Robert Saleh and general manager Joe Douglas were high on Darnold, still wanted to keep him, thought that Darnold had a future, thought he would basically turn into this, but it was the most poisonous owner in sports, slightly ahead of James Dolan of the New York Knicks, Woody Johnson of the New York Jets, the worst owner in sports, wanted Zach Wilson over Sam Darnold. He wanted some pie-eyed blonde guy, Mormon from Utah, who was never, ever, ever going to work in New York City. And literally the second he was drafted, it looked like New York and being a Jet was too big for for Zach Wilson, who had a very Elroy Jetson type of look and just was never going to be built for this market.
No.
So congratulations, Woody Johnson. You've yet again made another awful decision. I don't also know what the Minnesota Vikings were thinking when Sam Darnold had a phenomenal year. Yeah, okay. He wasn't great in the playoffs last year. But also, that was his first prominent playoff run. You would expect him to play a little better than in his second playoff run. Still a youngish quarterback in some ways. So I'm not exactly sure why the Vikings moved on from him, but that was a colossal mistake, as J.J. McCarthy is horrible, and I am not sure J.J. McCarthy is going to get any better. I'm really not. I mean, you've seen just some of these throws by J.J. McCarthy. He throws the ball sometimes 20 feet over the wide receiver's head. It's just he's wildly inaccurate. Mina Kimes of ESPN is getting roasted because she put out a tweet when the Seattle Seahawks decided to move on last year from Geno Smith. Okay? Mina Kimes thought the Seahawks were making a huge mistake by moving on from Geno, the interception machine Smith. I know that Pete Carroll got a good year out of Geno Smith in Seattle. But you know what? For the vast majority of Geno Smith's career, he has been an automatic turnover. Here is the tweet, verbatim, from Mina Kimes regarding moving on from Geno Smith. Quote, flat out, this is a terrible move by Seattle. Chances of upgrading are extremely low. She then doubled down on this tweet with, on the flip side, this is a great move by the new Raiders regime. Far and away the best option at quarterback. So did Mina not watch the NFC last year and see Sam Darnold put up crazy numbers? She thought that Geno Smith was the best option at quarterback. That's what that's implying, that Geno Smith was better than Sam Darnold. On what universe was Geno Smith better than Sam Darnold just last year? Just last season.
I can't defend it.
He wasn't.
I definitely can't defend it, David.
And people want to question if Mina Kimes knows ball or not. That seems like she don't know ball. Mina Kimes is starting to seem like someone who is similar to too many coaches and general managers in sports. She can only memorize numbers. But can she actually watch the game and deduce who the best talent is on the field? Maybe not. In fact, after that tweet, I would say, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I would take Trace McSorley over Geno Smith.
I missed when Mina Kimes used to slur her words. Something happened. Like 5 years ago, or 6 years, 7 years ago, when Mina Kimes was on the scene, she was way more like, yeah, I think Geno Smith is a good quarterback. Now, look, I don't know if she was popping Percocets, doing the Xanax, having a few shots of vodka before she'd go on TV. I don't know what the deal was, but slurring her words, Mina Kimes, way better than whoever this Mina Kimes is. This is a now kind of slightly arrogant and righteous Mina Kimes, who, quite frankly, is now not only uninteresting, but she gets all her football wrong. It's another problem with ESPN by having these people on television. Mina Kimes, Dan Orlovsky, Ryan Clark. They're on television way too long in the day. They're on the early Sports Center. They're on Get Up. They're on First Take. They're on NFL Live. They're on the evening Sports Center. It's enough. It's 18 hours of the same people. Maybe it's turning all of their minds into mush. Have we thought about that?
Overexposure.
That ESPN has put the same people on television hour after hour after hour every single day, that now they just have gotten to a sort of a caveman Neanderthal type of IQ, where they're just like, Geno Smith good, Sam Darnold bad. That's my hot take. It's fake hot take after fake hot take. It's nothing but bad takes, shock jock moments, and then they apologize for it 24 hours later. So they give you legitimately no reason to watch ESPN, because are you guys aware that we have now seen apologies just in the last couple months from Kirk Herbstreit when he slighted Navy, Pat McAfee when he spread the rumor of the Ole Miss student having intercourse with her father. Paul Feinbaum with his Kurt Cignetti is just a one-hit wonder. He'll never get Indiana back after he was 10-2 last year. And Kurt Cignetti in Indiana won the national championship and went 16-0. So he had to apologize for that. He also had to apologize for his SEC prediction that if a team from the SEC doesn't win, he'd move the country, out of America. I haven't seen any Avis trucks. I haven't seen any moving vans outside of Paul Feinbaum's house, so he's a liar. Ryan Clark's had to apologize a couple times for the Peter Schrager incident, where he pulled the old, well, I'm a former player, and you're just some tool in a tie who never played in the NFL, so who cares what you think? He had to apologize for that. He also apologized for giving misinformation about Kyron Lacey. Mina Kimes had to apologize for the Solitaire Cash app promotion. And then recently, Dan Orlovsky, who had very legit criticism, when he said C.J. Stroud stunk, the Houston Texans had an all-time great defense, and C.J. Stroud was absolutely atrocious, abysmal, truly played the worst game I've ever seen a quarterback play in the playoffs. He looked scared. He looked straight up terrified to be on the football field. He looked like he did not want to be there. He looked afraid. He looked scared. And Orlovsky called him out for it. 4 interceptions in the first half. And then 24 hours later, Dan Orlovsky goes on TV and apologizes. He's like, I was too hard on C.J. Stroud, and I'm going to do better. Do better? He was talking as if like he had actually said something controversial. I had to look up the clip. It's too boring to play on this show, so that's why we're not playing it. But basically, he was like, C.J. Stroud was horrible. 4 interceptions in the first half. The legendary Texans defense, he cost them the game. That is what happened. So all of these people on ESPN apologize all the time. You know what that means? They don't mean anything they say. Thus, watching ESPN is pointless, ladies and gentlemen. There's no point in watching people give hot takes if they don't mean they're hot takes. Then you're just in Skip Bayless territory. And we all know that's what he does. Hot take after hot take, just to get a little buzz, and it's boring, and it's played out. Something that we've never done on the Davey Mac Sports Program, ever. This is an honest show. We get fired up, there's criticism, there's celebration, but we're not doing anything dishonest, and I will never be the hot take for hot take's sake guy, Robert.
I was just going to say, whenever we have hot takes, they're fun, and we back them up 100%. And I actually have a hot take right now about the Super Bowl. I was hanging out with a comedian, Barb. We were supposed to have a show. It got canceled, and she shared with me the Holy Seahawks theory. Have either of you guys heard of this?
No.
So in the 2000s era, every time there is a new pope, the Seahawks win the Super Bowl. In 2005, Pope Benedict. In 2013, Pope Francis. And in 2025...
They appeared in the Super Bowl.
Yep, they appeared. That's what I meant to say. Did I say when? Because then if you count the 2013 and 14, they lost in 14, but they were there in 13, and now in 2025,
you're right. Yeah, I mean,
they made it to the Super Bowl.
They have won Super Bowl. There's Super Bowl over Peyton Manning and Denver Broncos. But I hear what but it is true. They've made the playoffs a bunch of times. Man, I even forgot about that 2005 Super Bowl appearance. So these are all done with new popes?
All done with new popes. And the video I saw that she posted did say appear. I'm the idiot, just so everybody knows.
So does that mean we're going to get a new pope?
We already did. I don't know if you know this, the guy from Chicago.
Oh, right. Oh, my gosh.
That's why it's relevant.
But imagine if that guy gets killed by the Illuminati and we have some sort of Da Vinci Code where Tom Hanks is like going to the Super Bowl trying to figure out like if one of the players killed the Pope.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be amazing?
I mean, I'm just Hollywood. By the way,
All of
Roy,
it?
I have an idea for a science fiction series that I'm not going to give away on the air.
Okay.
But
Well-
I told Robert about it, and he said, it's a winner, Dave, man.
I feel like there might have been one other thing about maybe you should check out this series, but it sounds like a winner.
Don't you even. Robert thought it was derivative of a science fiction movie. Now, it's not Star Wars or Star Trek, by the way, and that's all I'll say now. I've given away way too much. But I have, unlike all these other jabronis, I have the entire show planned out. I have the first season, second season, third season, fourth season, fifth season, sixth season, seventh season, eighth season, and then the ending. It's all done.
8 seasons.
Yeah,
That's a
you got a
commitment,
problem with
David.
that, Roy? Wait.
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
movie.
man. I'm not into seasons anymore. I just like movies.
You know what, Roy? 6 seasons. I apologize, buddy.
Okay, that I can handle. Soprano style.
Yeah, keep it British. You don't want too many in your series.
I got 6 seasons, and we have it all. We have the beginning, the middle, and the end. I need a big time. And the reason why I'm not going to give away the idea, 20 years ago at this point. Yeah. Oh, my God. That's crazy to think. Because it was around 2006 on the Ron and Fez show. I had an idea for a movie that at the time, and we've discussed it on Modern Day Man, it was called Murder Day.
Oh,
And it was going to be for one day, murder is legal. And I gave away this idea. Everyone laughed at us. Then 2 years later, here comes a
Purge.
film franchise, The Purge.
that's right. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, you can literally go to SiriusXM to find like actual documentation of me. They stole my idea.
Yeah. And murder's still not legal. Go figure.
Depends on who you work for.
Ouch. But what I'm saying is I'm not making that mistake again. So I need a big time screenwriter. I'd like Quentin Tarantino, someone of that ilk, to give me a call. Thank you. I'm telling you,
on the horn.
I am telling you guys, this is going to blow Lost away. It's going to blow Star Trek away. Oh my
Maybe
God.
you should get ChatGTP to write it for you, David.
No. This is all coming from the mind of the Dave man, see?
Okay.
All right, I came up with this idea on me own.
Okay. All right.
I ain't
just-
giving my my money over to some robot.
It's just like sabermetrics all over again. Sure, Roy, you might think the machine can just churn out the right answers, but it's the human element, the craziness of Dave that makes this unique. We can't
Trust
let those clankers run everything.
Robert's heard the idea, Roy, outside of a few questions that he had where he said, well, are you sure you won't get sued for this? And I go, I have to. He said, I have to look into that. But Robert, you would agree the base idea, if I can switch it up, what?
Fantastic. Very unique.
Oh.
You haven't seen anything really like it. I if you can switch up a couple of things, I think you actually have a real hit on your hands.
I have a hit television series, Hollywood. I'm not giving you The Purge this time.
Hey, Bobby,
No.
I could probably fix a couple of those things that Dave was talking about, so we could chat later, buddy.
Absolutely. What if you and I just write this series and we just kind of cut Dave Man out?
That's exactly what I'm envisioning.
I should have never told Robert. He is absolutely going to sell me out, and he's going to take my $1 million idea. This is going to be the greatest series of all time.
I made a fortune off of your Purge prediction, David.
No, but can you tell them that when Roy and I were only 4 episodes into the East Side Dave show on Compound Media, Roy released an album, Songs and Stingers of the East Side Dave show. And I'm like, Roy, what's this? He's like, oh, we're gonna sell 1 million of these. Don't worry, David, you're gonna get 50%. I'm like, this show's 4 episodes in. No one even knows the show yet. This album should come out like maybe 5 years from now.
Well, that explains why I haven't given you a cut yet, David, because quite frankly, I haven't even made 50 cents off of it yet. So.
Oh my God. Did you sell any copies of Stingers and Songs from the East Side Dave show?
Not a single one, David.
Some of the tracks, ladies and gentlemen, are literally 8 to 12 seconds long because they're literally a stinger. This is what the guy called an album.
Yeah, I wanted to see if I could release an album of very short songs. And by short, I mean like nothing over 10 seconds. Ramon style.
My favorite part is we've used a couple of those stingers and stuff we've produced, and you get flagged by YouTube. So it's not like if you bought the album, you could use the stingers for production and stuff. You could just enjoy
you'll get
the
sued.
stingers.
Sometimes YouTube restricts our videos and wants to sue us for playing our own stupid singers and songs.
Yeah, that would be on me, David. That's my bad. I apologize.
Now, with Mina Kimes, I was talking about Mina Kimes. I want slurring Mina Kimes back because this non-slurring whatever, more meek and way less personality these days, and also with a combination of righteousness, a little arrogance too. Not a big fan of this. Well, if you're going to slur your words, no one does it better than Chris Mad Dog Russo. And because the best player on the field for the Seattle Seahawks yesterday, if it wasn't Sam Darnold, it was Jaxon Smith-Njigba. Now, I understand the name is difficult to say. It's spelled, we know how to spell Smith. There's a hyphen, and then it's Njigba. It's pronounced Njigba. If you look at the word, you can actually see it's Njigba. But here's one thing that I, as a guy who's worked in radio before, have done. Any responsible broadcaster, this is what you do, folks. You write it phonetically out for yourself on the paper. No one's going to see how you spell the word. So you break it into 3 syllables. Njigba. It's not hard word to actually say. And considering he may have been the best wide receiver in the entire NFL this year, you'd think Chris Russo would do this. But here's Chris Russo's first attempt at Jaxon Smith-Njigba. Just say
the Seahawks blocked a 48-yard field goal with 4 minutes left, which would have put the Pats up 6. That was a big play in this game. Smith played well, and his receivers, Metcalf caught 10. Jaxon Smith-Njigba, the kid from Ohio State, he caught 12 more. And
go back, Robert. Go back to 14 seconds. Nugajuba?
The kid from Ohio State, he caught 12 more. Smith-Njigba, the kid from Ohio State, he Smith-Njigba, the kid from Ohio State, he Smith-Njigba.
Nugajuba. I'm not even going to get into it, but that sounds somewhat racial, and I even don't. It almost sounds like we can't even break that down.
No, we don't need to.
But here is his second attempt at, again, Jaxon Smith-Njigba. It's not that hard. Attempt number 2. Come up.
And the Seattle does not. No, you're gonna tell me Igby Smith? Best player on the field Saturday in Seattle.
Pause it. He went quick for you guys. He now left out the name Jackson, and he just called him Igby Smith. He's omitting words. It's not even close to Jaxon Smith-Njigba. It's Igby Smith. Igby Smith. Go back again, Robert. Igby Smith.
It was so bad I thought I missed it.
No, listen to it again.
You're going to tell me Igby Smith? No, you're going to tell me Igby Smith? The best player on the field Saturday in Seattle.
Since we played his initial partner at the beginning of the show, and now we're playing Chris Russo, let's do a Mike and the Mad Dog reunion with this third clip. It's now Mike Francesa versus his former partner, Chris Russo. Let's see if either of them can simply pronounce Jaxon Smith-Njigba.
Sam's having a really good year. 12 touchdowns, 4 intercepts. Smith, it's amazing how many these Ohio State, receivers just come in the league and flourish. But Smith, Njigba, however you say it.
The Seahawks blocked a 48-yard field goal with 4 minutes left, which would have put the Pats up 6. That was a big play in this game. Smith played well, and his receivers, Metcalf caught 10. Jaxon Smith-Njigba, the kid from Ohio State, he caught 12.
That one, they were almost on the same page.
Close.
These guys, ladies and gentlemen, were number 1 in New York for about 19 years. They literally blew away the competition.
Oh,
I give them all the credit in the world. They're arguably the most famous sports talk show ever. They're the only one to get a 30 for 30 on them, Mike and the Mad Dog, and neither one can just take 2 seconds. If you're gonna have notes for yourself, consider writing out the names phonetically. Come on, boys. You know, these guys have Marconis. They're in the Radio Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I know.
They don't do little things like write out the names phonetically, easy to spell, so that, and again, no one sees the papers on your desk. Even if you're on television and getting simulcast, people can't see what you've written down. I can't even go on a rant and make fun of them because honestly, I do fear some sort of slur will emerge.
Exactly. You don't think they're thinking the same exact thing?
Yeah. No, it is a miracle that neither of them have done a slur. I thought the Mad Dog giving up on the name entirely and calling him Igbibi Smith was hysterical.
You think he was the number 1 receiver in the NFL this year, Dave? I got to go with Puka Nuka.
Puka Nacua, the phenomenal Rams wide receiver.
My bad, I wasn't Mad Dog.
All right, so there's your football round. So we got Patriots versus the Seattle Seahawks in the Super Bowl. It'll be a rematch of the famous one where all Pete Carroll had to do was hand the ball off to Marshawn Lynch. And instead, I don't know why he had Russell Wilson throw the ball. And honestly, you can almost look at Russell Wilson's decline beginning right there. If the Seattle Seahawks just hand the ball off to Marshawn Lynch, they defeat Tom Brady and Bill Belichick in the Super Bowl after defeating Peyton Manning and the Broncos in the Super Bowl the year before. And you're talking about the Seahawks being back-to-back champions. We would be looking at Russell Wilson as like Patrick Mahomes before Patrick Mahomes, with the scrambling and the crazy plays that he made combined with winning back-to-back championships. But for whatever reason, they didn't hand off the ball to Marshawn Lynch, who had well over 100 games. 100 yards in that game. So it wasn't like he wasn't running well. He was. It made no sense. And Russell Wilson throws the interception. He's never been the same player since. So that's your football roundup. Pats versus Seahawks for the Super Bowl. I don't know how it's going to do ratings-wise. I'm not super excited for it. I would have been a little more excited for a Rams. I think a Rams-Broncos would have gotten me going, but not with Stidham. You know, the whole thing kind of sucks that Bo Nix got hurt, in all honesty. Look, basketball, there's something going on here. Charles Barkley's in denial. I hate to ever side with Colin Cowherd, who does he is totally guilty of being one of those hot take for hot take's sake guys, combined with the fake radio voice. And in all honesty, he has a very punchable face. I've never liked Colin Cowherd. I've never. He's like if Mad Dog wasn't mentally ill. The thing I like about Chris Russo is he sort of seems like he escaped from the mental hospital with the rest of the One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest gang. You know, he went on the little fishing trip right next to RP McMurphy and Billy and Martini, and you get Mad Dog right there. Like, I can't believe we're out here. I can't believe we got the task nurse Ratchet. P. McMurphy, Murph. I can't believe we did this, Mac. And I plan on catching a marlin or two, or maybe even a trout, Mac. What do you think about that? But nevertheless, Charles Barkley's in denial because he himself said that since Inside the NBA, one of the most famous studio shows of all time, moved from TNT to ESPN this year, he complained they've only been on television 4 times in the first half.
Jesus.
4 times in the first half. There's been 40 games, regular season games. Who knows how many games have been on ESPN? 4 times in the first half. And this was Cowherd's point. And look, I hate to agree with him, but I've been saying it for years. Everything that ESPN, quite frankly, we know this now. Everything that Disney touches turns to poop because they can't just own the IP and then let people do what they do. They've got to take Star Wars and then switch it for the Disney way. They got to take Marvel, switch it for the Disney way. Hell, they got to take Pixar, which, by the way, folks, that's a George Lucas company to begin with, in case anyone forgot. Pixar came under the ILM, Industrial Light and Magic banner, which was George Lucas's special effects company. So that's Disney's got to take Pixar and then turn it to the thing. And now it's ESPN and sports itself. Take it, and twist it, and ruin it. All you have to do is let Charles and Kenny and Shaq and Ernie go on TV and let them do their thing. But it does not surprise me that Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, who is beyond weak sauce, who literally gave shout-outs to the new NBA pre- and post-game shows on Prime Video and Peacock, this stooge was glowing about how positive they are. They're so positive. So read between the lines. He don't like Charles and Shaq because they'll be critical of the players when the players do stupid things. And they'll be funny about it. They'll just say things like, this guy sucks. And that's funny. That's why we love them. That's why the NBA, Inside the NBA has been the best studio show. Because even though they're all former players,
they're blunt.
Charles and Shaq are in the Hall of Fame, for crying out loud. Even though they're all former, really, really good, if not great players, they will go after the contemporary player when it's deserved.
Yeah.
Not everything needs to be sugar-coated. Criticism does not mean you all of a sudden hate something. I criticized Star Wars The Acolyte because it was a terrible show. It had bad performances, bad storylines, bad plot twists, bad dialogue, bad sets, bad visuals, bad writing. It was horrible. Doesn't mean I hate Star Wars. Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal don't hate basketball. But when people go out there and clearly don't know what they're doing or aren't playing up to their potential, they're allowed to criticize them. It's why we've been watching Inside the NBA for all these years. You cannot tell me ESPN is not intentionally burying this show. You can't tell me it.
I take it a step further. I think I know exactly why they are, Dave.
I think it's for that reason, but go ahead.
Who is Chuck's biggest rival in all of sports? The women of San Antonio, who he consistently mocks and calls cows and pink-haired idiots. And who runs ESPN and Disney now? Seems like a lot of women who could be from San Antonio based on Chuck's description, and I think that's why they're getting buried.
I don't know. It's possible. It's possible they see him as a controversial show, and it's like, hey, then why did you buy them? Why didn't you let Inside the NBA be the show to go to Prime or to go to Peacock? If we had a do-over, because I'm going to tell you something, folks. Those two shows, the brand new NBA show on Prime and Peacock, boring. Everyone. I forget. First of all, I get them mixed up. I think Steve Nash is on the Prime one. I think he's on the Prime show. I think it's Steve Nash is on the Prime show, not the Peacock one. But whatever show Steve Nash is on, he's dull and monotone, and it's almost like because Steve Nash is a back-to-back NBA MVP. It's like the other guys follow suit. He was also a former coach. And so it is a monotone, lifeless show that no one's got any juice.
No passion.
And in all honesty, the Peacock, it's a little bit better with Blake Griffin and Nowitzki. A little bit better. But boy, oh boy, someone's got to tell people that, hey, you're on TV. How about getting a little excited? Here's the problem with getting all of these very, very recently retired guys. Number one, they just played with all of these guys in the NBA. So all of these guys who are playing right now are their friends. They don't want to criticize them. Number two, I hate to say it, way too many NBA players are too cool for school. Let's just call it like it is. They're too cool for school. It's almost like it's embarrassing for them to show emotion, to get pumped up, to show some excitement. Well, you know what? That makes for boring television. Those Prime and Peacock shows, people are trying to talk them up like these shows are great. They're positive. They're a snooze fest. Those shows are like hypnosis. I fall asleep within 90 seconds of those shows.
It's the opposite of the formula. If
you wanted to get Davey Mac as a Manchurian candidate, put one of those shows on and then put a gun in my hand and be like, you will shoot the ambassador. And I'll be like, I will shoot the ambassador. They're hypnotizingly boring.
It's the opposite formula that's worked for years. You got the color commentary guys trying to make every play seem like it's a classic sports moment. They're over broadcasting. They're making it about them. And then the show where you're supposed to have personality, the halftime for analysis, it's about as boring as commentary is supposed to be.
100%.
They've got it completely backwards.
The inside the NBA guys, all of them, not just Charles and Shaq, but also you could throw Kenny and Ernie into this. They will throw themselves under the bus if it makes for good TV. We've seen it time and time again. They don't have an ego in terms of being a television personality. They have an ego in terms of their careers and what kind of basketball players they were. And in terms of Shaquille O'Neal, in my opinion, he's on the Mount Rushmore of big guys. It's Shaquille O'Neal, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell. Everybody else takes a back seat to those four. So Shaq actually has a legitimate chance to talk. Charles is a former MVP, didn't get a ring, but he won 2 gold medals, and he's a part of the initial dream team. And Kenny Smith won back-to-back championships with the Rockets, and led, and was a big-time three-point shooter. They all have things they could brag about, for sure. But when they become TV personalities, the ego leaves the door, and that's why they're good. These other guys, it's just, here's like the Steve Nash show. It's like, I think Lakers are, I think what they need to do, I think they're lacking identity somehow. Like what they need to do is like, they need to decide whether it's a LeBron team or a Luka team. But until they make that decision, this team is just going to be confused, not have any identity, and not play very well. So that's my analysis, Maria. Back to you, Maria. It's like, oh my God, these shows are so bad. And I don't know what it is about these former NBA players, but I'm telling you, it's being too cool for school is one of the things that's very apparent. These guys don't want to get excited. I don't know why. It's annoying. By the way, I went to the Knicks game this past week with my daughter.
Oh, nice.
And Davey Mac was in the building. It's only the I factored this. I realized this. It's only the 7th Knicks game I've been to in my life. I've been to literally over 200 Yankees games. Now, my family was season ticket holders for many, many years, for 25 years to be exact. Mm-hmm. So when I say I've been to over 200 Yankee games, it's not an exaggeration. Honestly, the number might be closer to 400, but conservatively 200 games. I realized that I'd never seen the Knicks lose. This was the 7th time I went to the Knicks. They're 7-0.
Oh, wow. Huh.
This game was historic. They beat the Nets by 54 points. It's the largest, most dominant victory in Knicks franchise history. They've never beaten a team by more points. So all I'm saying here is Knicks and maybe even Knicks fans, maybe you should get me a seat next to, Spike Lee and Tracy Morgan because I'm clearly a good luck charm. Did you guys see that Tracy Morgan clip after the Knicks game? Yeah.
No.
I didn't even include it in the show prep, but basically he's leaving the Knicks game. He's signing a few autographs, and this one guy goes up to him and asks for money. And Tracy Morgan's like, "You bullied me when I was younger. Get away from me." And the guy's like, "But Tracy, I'm homeless." And Tracy Morgan's like, "Not my problem."
Yeah, I did see this clip, actually. I didn't know that's the one you were talking about, but yes, I did see that.
Here's my hot take, and it's not even a hot take because I don't know the way the rest of the world feels. I'm 1,000% on Tracy Morgan's side.
Of course, David.
The guy didn't even be like, "Hey, Tracy, remember me? I know I used to bully you, and now life's taking a hard turn, and I find myself without a home, and I realize karma caught up with me. I'm deeply, deeply sorry for how I treated you when we were younger. I'm sorry for bullying you, bro." And then maybe go, "If you can extend any help to me, that would be cool." Don't be like, "Hey man, can I have $20?" And then when Tracy Morgan's like, "No, you used to bully me," be like, "Yo, I'm homeless, man." And try to put all the heat on Tracy Morgan. I'm sorry.
I'm with you.
Roy, what do you think then?
I think he's nuts, man. You can't just approach some celebrity off the street and ask him for money and thinking he's going to, come on. It's ridiculous, David.
This guy's Tracy obviously didn't know him. When the guy was like, "Tracy, man, come on, help me out." He was like, "No, you used to bully me, man."
Yeah, I bet you Tracy.
You. And he's like, "But Tracy, I'm homeless. Not my problem."
Well, Tracy Morgan, in his defense, he probably gets hit up for money from every single family member that he's ever remotely tied to in a tree. I mean, come on.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. All right, final thing here. Baseball, the Yankees re-signed Cody Bellinger. Robert, do you have the Photoshop that I personally did? I did not ask. Roy, it took me 9 hours to do this Photoshop of Cody Bellinger, the New York Yankee, Photoshopped over Cody Rhodes, the professional wrestler. This Photoshop took me 9 hours. Everyone's complaining about AI. So I decided, you know what? I'll do it myself. And obviously, Grok, eat your heart out.
You did a great job, David.
Look at this. No one could even. I'm sure no one can tell where Cody Bellinger ends and Cody Rhodes begins.
I sure can't tell.
But those are Cody Bellinger's shoulders and face over Cody Rhodes's body. Again, Roy, 9 hours to do that, and I think I hit it out of the park. Look at that.
You did.
Right, Al?
You could have used a little shading, but hey, I'm no professional. What do I know?
You're telling me this isn't AI, Dave. Come on.
Not
you
AI.
get me to believe this wasn't a computer. This was you.
Nope. Not Grok, not ChatGTD.
I'm sure there's a lot of graphic designers out there right now. Very nervous, David.
And that will do it. I thought we would go out something special today rather than the usual Davey Mac Sports Program closing theme. I got to give a shout out to Uncle Floyd. Floyd Vivino.
Yes.
For those of you in the New Jersey, New York area, like I am, you may have grown up on Uncle Floyd in the 80s and 90s. He had a local cable access show that was just sensational.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, some people say that the East Side Dave show reminded them a little bit of the Uncle Floyd show in some ways. And I was always honored by that because I'm like, I love Uncle Floyd and his puppet Oogie, of course. But what was cool about Uncle Floyd, he got the Ramones on his show one time.
He was breaking musical acts. I think Talking Heads made an appearance on his show.
He got he had Tiny Tim to do the tiptoe through the tulips on the show, and he may, don't quote me on this, he may or may not have had Blondie, or at least Debbie Harry. I thought she made an appearance back in the day as well. He used to play, the old time ragtime piano, wear a flannel hat, and had this little puppet Oogie and stuff, and I mean, it was just such a great show. By the way, also was in Good Morning Vietnam.
That's right. Yes.
Because Barry Levinson was a fan. And then they said him and Robin Williams hit it off. So he's a real legend. And, of course, this was his famous song bragging about his New Jersey roots. And I am a particular fan of this song. This song was included, by the way, in the Dr. Demento 25th anniversary album, the double album that exists. And even though after a Ron Bennington interview with Jimmy Fallon, and where Jimmy Fallon says, "Hey, I'm a big Dr. Demento fan," during the interview, and then after the show, I go, "Hey, do you have the 25th anniversary of Dr. Demento?" And for some reason, Jimmy Fallon denied its existence. I thought he was joking with me. I go, "Do you have this album, Jimmy?" And he goes, "No, the album doesn't exist." And I started chuckling because I thought, he's a comedian. He's making a joke. And then I go, "No, but really, I mean, do you have the album? It's great. It's two tapes." At that point, I had it on cassette tape. And he said, "Listen, I'm the biggest Dr. Demento fan in the world. If the 25th anniversary album of Dr. Demento existed, I would know about it." And that's when I decided right then and there that Jimmy Fallon is a grade A-hole. But enough about Jimmy Fallon. This is about Floyd Vivino of the Uncle Floyd Show. Rest in peace. And we will see you next week for Bobby Tedborough, for Roy Harder, Eastside Dave. Actually, plugs?
None for me, David. No, thank you.
February 6th, Laughingstock Comedy Club, Harrisburg, PA.
There you go. Plug it out. Bobby Tenborough, February 6th. You know why? Uncle Floyd would always make sure to get those plugs out before the end of the program, and we want to honor the great Void Favino. And that'll do it from myself, Eastside Dave McDonald. This has been the Davey Mac Sports Program. Good night, everybody.
Here's a little song. I want to thank WNEW-FM for helping me out with a little song I wrote called Deep in the Heart of Jersey. Oh, the factory smoke will make you choke. Deep in the heart of Jersey, and the city rats run in big packs. Deep in the heart of Jersey, oh, the Parkway man takes a quarter from your hand. Deep in the heart of Jersey and Route 17, the traffic there is mean. Deep in the heart of Jersey. Skies ain't fit for flies. Deep in the heart of Jersey, and the pizza man says, I'm gonna understand. Deep in the heart of Jersey, oh, the dumps in June ain't like perfume. Deep in the heart of Jersey, but it's my state, I think it's great. Deep in the heart